if you need the copies of the test, for example, you want to print it out or whatever, it's on the Google Classroom. Ne? One is algebra, it's called Algebra and Number Concept. You'll find them both there. Okay. So the algebra, so this one is fine, yeah? Okay, but I'll still do it. The algebra one is tricky. And this is the one you were doing when, what was his name? When, no. When Maniki, Mr. Hockey's boy was here, right? Uh, no, you didn't mark it. Okay, let's have a look. I know you're going to be very interested in seeing this. So far, I've added the two, and you can see the ones in black are the only ones who are making it so far. Red is for danger. Anyway, remember, I'm recording it, so you'll see your marks there on YouTube. Yeah. Here, you have to collect like terms here. So you'll get 6a minus 5b. That's it. You get 1 mark for each correct term. Can I move on? Here you have 22m minus 15m. That gives you 7m. Are you with me so far? And then you have 12k minus 15k. That gives you minus 3k. 1 mark for each correct term. Yes, you did not write a k there, so it's wrong. You should be fast. When you are multiplying, we don't care about like terms. With multiplication, we straight up multiply the numbers, and then we are going to multiply the letters. So at the end of the day, you should get negative 8a squared. I also accept something like this. You see that? So you get a mark at least for the negative 8. The a squared, b squared is on its own then. Are we okay so far? Here again, you multiply 4 times 3. Then you multiply. When you multiply and the bases are the same, you add the indices. So this is 1 mark for the 12, 1 mark for the y raised to the power of 11. See, I don't have time to write all those y's 11 times. Okay? When you multiply and the bases are the same, then you can't do anything there. Oops, let's just go back. Takes you way back. So you have got that. So if the bases are the same, and you're multiplying, then you add the indices. Don't forget that. So multiplication is actually not so difficult. All right? C, that cube is nothing. It has nothing to do with the 2. So that 2 is on its own. The only thing you must do is you are supposed to multiply here. Multiply the indices. So this is 2x raised to the 6th power. 2 marks there. Again, this one, I don't know why it's difficult. You can do that. 24 goes into 48 2 times. And when you are dividing and the bases are the same, like for example, a raised to the power of 10 divided by a raised to the power of 6, we are saying when you are dividing and the bases are the same, what do you do with the indices? You subtract the indices, so this should be a raised to the power of 4. And that 4 should be a power. Please, it should look like a power, not like a funny thing. Are you with me? Okay. Here, first thing you do, write this as an improper fraction. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 7 is 25 over 9. Now, this is raised to a negative power. So we are saying this negative gives you a direction. It says you must swap the base. But you could have done this with your calculator as well. So it becomes 9 over 25. Now the power is positive. Anything raised to a power of a half is the same as the square root of that. But again, as I said, you could have done this. So that will be 3 over 5. And this is the answer I was looking for. If you are using your calculator, okay, check. I think I have my calculator somewhere here. You have to press that. Ne? You can't be pressing this and then you go back and you put it 2. It's wrong. You follow what I'm saying? So you have to shift, bring in the improper thing. But you have got a bracket. So perhaps you can do that and then you put 2. Is it 7 upon 9? Yes? Because you use a calculator, right, for this. You close that, raise that to power of negative 1/2. You get 3 over 5. How is that difficult? Like, you can't be losing this mark because you can already do it on your calculator. Okay? Are we clear? All right. Here, again, you could do the same. This is not a problem question if you were to use your calculator. It's a test. Maximize your scoring. You can say 0.04 raised to the power of 1/2. You should get 1 over 5 as an answer. That on a calculator you can't get wrong. You follow? But how do you work it out without using a calculator? So the first thing is you write this as 4 over 100. And what you can also do is you can also simplify this. But in any case, you know that 4 goes in itself one time, 4 goes into 100. So what did I say? Anything raised to the power of a half is the same as taking the square root. Power of a half is square root. We'll do fractional indices and you understand. The rule is when you have a fractional index, like any number raised to some root, maybe I make that m over n. In the alphabet, what comes first? Is it m or then n? M. M. Yes. This one here is the power. This one here is the root. So that 2 there means you must take the square root. You follow? And everything then should be raised to the power of 1. So it is 1 over 5. That is the answer I was looking for. But again, I said you can done this with a calculator, you get the mark, and then you don't have to go and stress yourselves. So that I don't smudge here on the graphic. You get it? By the way, you are being recorded. And I'm going to put you on YouTube like I did with the grade 10s. Yes, you will see. Multiply out the brackets. Whoa, you people here. That is 6a minus 15. That's minus 4a. Here you must be very careful. Plus 12. So this gives you 6a minus 4a minus 15 plus 12. So that's 2a minus 3. I don't even know why I gave you 3 marks for this question. Maybe because of your working. What are you looking at? This is botmas. You cannot, people. What is this? Someone goes and does this. That times that. No. How many terms does this expression consist of? It's 2 terms. So you need to do multiplication first. So you write 5bx, then you have minus 12bx, and the negatives gives you a positive 6x squared. The like terms are only the 5bx and this one. They are the like terms, which means when you write it down, you'll get 6x squared minus 7bx. The minus 7 comes from if you subtract the coefficient minus 12 and positive 5. 5 minus 12 is minus 7. Are we getting it? You cannot multiply that 5px. It's a term on its own. You first have to multiplication. It's like, remember, it's like BODMAS. Okay? Multiplication before addition. There are still people who don't know how to multiply binomial, these two brackets. This is supposed to be very straightforward. You multiply that, you get 2a squared. With me? Then you multiply the 2a with that, you get minus 6a. And then you come here, you get minus 5a. And a negative times a negative gives you. The problem, most of you was here. Please, if this is confusing to you, just take the coefficient on your calculator. Just go minus 6 or negative 6 minus 5. You'll see you get negative 11. Not negative 1. So at the end of the day, it's 2a squared minus 11a plus 15. 1 mark for each correct term. Factorize, now it means you must introduce brackets. What is the highest common factor of 6 and 12? What is the highest common factor of a squared and a? It's always the one with the smallest power. And inside the bracket, 6a goes how many times? So you say 6a squared, you divide it by 6a, you'll only be left with a. You understand? So inside here, there will be an a. Again, you do the same. 12a divided by 6a, this 6a that's there. You are going to get plus 2. No, the a's, they cancel, right? So how do you check? You check by multiplying back, see if you are getting that statement. So it was just 1 mark. So I was looking for the 6a. Some people, they took out the 3a. It's not yet the highest number that goes in 6 and also into 12. It's wrong because if you multiply back, you'll get 12a squared. 6a times a is 6a squared. Are you with me? 6a times 2 is just going to be 12a. You already took it out. The number that goes in 49 and 14 and 56, that number is 7. And now you get to the letters. The only common letter is small letter s. Can you see that? And you take the one with the smallest power. So that is outside. So how many times does 7 go in 49? It goes there 7 times. But there's a t left. So if you multiply back, you should get that term. How many times does 7 go into 14? 2 times. But it's 2s because if you multiply, you should get that 14s squared. How many times does 7 go in 56? Plus 8. That's all that you were supposed to do. So outside, you have 7s. And the way you check, when the question says factorize, it means please introduce brackets. You see, it's like 1, 2, 3 terms. Now it's just 1 term. Can you see that? That's factorization, is the reverse of multiplication or expansion. This one is not so easy. There are 2 ways you can do this. I can rearrange. I can say 2a minus 4xa, because I want the 4 and the 2 together. I also want the a together. Are you with me? Then I have plus 6xb minus 3b. Now, what is common between 2 and 4? 2a. Am I right? Yes. So 2a will go how many times in 2a? Once. 2 goes how many times here? So there will be 2x. The objective is, you see this bracket that you are getting here, this one? You see this bracket? You should get exactly the same bracket when you do the other 2 terms. So let's take out what is common with the other 2 terms. 3 is common, right? Because 3 goes in 6, 3 goes into 3. And b is also common. Okay? So 3b, you see, there's a little problem. Because I switched it, I'll show you 2 ways to do it. 3b goes into 6xb. It goes there positive 2x. And 3 goes there minus 1. But the brackets are not identical. Are you with me? If that is the case, you must switch. I know it could be confusing. You must switch this, and if you switch this, the sign must change. I think I did this one already. So this becomes 2a outside, 1 minus 2x. Now this becomes a minus. And now you have 3b, and inside you have 1 minus 2x. So what you are supposed to write is everything outside the bracket, you write it in its own bracket. And the one that is common, you write it only once. This one, I expected you to have a little bit of a problem. But if I did not switch, I would not have that problem. Okay? That's all that you were supposed to do in that question. So algebra is tricky, and it looks like we have a lot of work to do as far as algebra is concerned. 30 marks doesn't look so good. There are people who have got single-digit scores. We need to improve on our scores. Let me show you how your continuous assessment works. This is the marks that I harvested. It means all the tests that you wrote. Femi has got 72%, is the highest in the class because he's continuously passing his test. This one maybe was messing up a bit. All right? The ones in yellow are those learners who were absent that day. But if you add all your tests, all of them, they should give you 275. Ne? If you add all the tests. But say, for example, Hamilton did not write these tests. So I subtract that 35 from 275. That's why you see this little thing there. His formula is different. I am dividing by 2.4. You understand? So he's getting his average of the test that he wrote. You understand? I cannot be giving you the class average. It's not what I do. Because sometimes the class average can be a bit higher than some people, and it will be unfair. You follow what I'm saying? So I'm just removing that. So you will still have like 3 or 4 tests that you are going to write, and you need to improve this little percentage so that all this red can move over and become a bit black. Now all of that, I'm going to fill it into this form. This is how your continuous assessment form will be. So although you're writing all these tests, but I'm going to, some of them will be projects, some of them will be tasks, some of them will be tests. You can't really in mathematics at this stage give you a project. I do that normally the last time when you are doing statistics. And the thing about projects is also, it's always that one learner who does it. And the rest of the people are just coming along, going along with the flow. And then you're getting a mark that you don't deserve. So my test, it's summative. That stuff is what you're getting when you're writing an exam. So you're writing 2 papers. And I will be taking all of those tests and I will be adding these things here. And you see 130, it means it's your paper 1, which is 45 marks, and paper 2, which is 85 marks. Paper 1 is the one that doesn't have, you don't use a calculator. So you're also going to get a report in September. And then you're going to get another report end of the year. So you're going to write mock exams in September. Mock exam means it's out of 130, again, those 2 papers. So in your report, you'll have term 1, term 2, term 3 marks. So when we are going up until before September, you're writing another series of tests that I'm going to harvest. I put them all together. At the end of the day, this form is going to continue. Let me get to the grade 9. This form is going to continue for the whole year. And I'm tracking it every time I'm changing the percentage. Are we clear? Do you understand? Okay. That stuff is on YouTube.